right? And when did you realize that for your art you needed to do a African diasporic focused idea of futurism?
Right. Well, first of all, let me just state that I am not the first person to do this type of work.
Right.
And I like to say that because there have been and so I decided I would do characters like that. Uh, I was a little crazy and I tried to do it in the mainstream industry, which is not advisable, particularly if you look at the Reagan era, the Bush era, and all that. But yeah, it's so fascinating the time we're in now. Black Panther, thank God, thank God for that Black Panther.
And let's talk a little bit about that because you were at Marvel for a minute.
Mhm.
What was that experience like? Because because you grew up reading Marvel comics, you
Yeah.
said Steve was more your raison d'etre, but it was a thing for you,
Well,
right? And now you're working there.
yeah.
What was that like? Like, how was that experience?
Well,
And when you brought your point of view, how did the reception of your point of view um, change you?
yeah, that's a good question, and it's the first time anyone has ever asked me that. So thank you. I am a visual Afrofuturist, and I want to do characters with black folks in it. But in my core, I would be lying to you if I denied that I would not love to draw Superman or the Hulk. I would be lying. Any comic book artist out there would essentially be not honest with you. They would be disingenuous if they did not concede that they would jump at the chance to do a traditional comic book. And when I worked for Marvel, I came in. First thing I had to do was Conan the Barbarian. You heard Conan the Barbarian? Don't worry, we're gonna get him up to speed. So Conan the Barbarian is a character created by Robert E. Howard. And I'm mentioning that now. You say, well, what does that have to do with Marvel? Because it's influencing what I'm doing now. But
Yeah.
back to the Marvel.
It'll reconnect.
Got my start in comic book by Joyce Brasner, the widow of Harvey Carter, who I love very much. She gave my start in comic books. And when I eventually started to work for Marvel Comics, man, you're inside. I was a freelancer, of course, but you're inside, and everyone is I should have said everyone is like for example, I'm one of the painted artists, so I did painted graphics. And the painted graphic novels, they would hand you brushes. I would use these brushes to paint back on in paper. And here I was producing that for Marvel Comics, man. That was that's the dream. So I did that until, of course, the industry. Most people don't realize that Marvel Comics declared bankruptcy.
Yes.
And when they declared bankruptcy, the dream for a lot of people basically ended. Basically, I did that, and time I guess about 4 or 5 years I freelance, and then they eventually said, "Well, we need video game." Where for about a year and a half I worked on a Batman video game. Hated it, but I did it. So it was an interesting experience. I can't seem to get away from comics, man. It just seems to be part of what I do.
And did you ever try to pitch any ideas when you were inside? And were those ideas Afrofuturist centered books and ideas?
Yep. I just took Marvel. I tried to DC the first iteration of Max Rocket. It was called If God Was a Woman, and it was pitched to Vertigo. Yeah, I know that's kind of that's morbid, but it was that period in the '90s when the crash took out a lot of guys, lost a lot of people. The mortgages were on the line, that type of thing. but I tried to pitch my stuff to various outlets. And the only one I was really successful with was Rap Agent Magazine. For a quick second, I did an iteration of Black Metropolis, which lasted
You
for
can
about
join
3
Zoom
issues.
by sitting there and talking to them.
It just wasn't time. You know, I remember speaking to a curator, a fairly famous curator, who covered a lot of Basquiat work, and it had to be in the late '90s or early 2000s. And I saw it, I was like, look, I wonder if you'd be interested in my work, Black Metropolis, and put it in a gallery. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I understand that because the world wasn't ready for it. Not in the context, certainly not in the gallery. And here we are now, where we got camera.
That's awesome. And the idea for Black Metropolis, where did that start? Where were the germs of that? Like what were the beginnings of Black Metropolis?
Well, again, we're talking with my brother. That was the first thing when I realized, oh, you know, and I've done Black characters before, but it was never really like overtly. It wasn't something I was willing to do. I was just doing it just to be doing it. You know, my character, Summer Star, when I was, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, that character was based on Jim Kelly. So I've always had characters. Okay, I want to do a good Black demographic. That would have to be when Julie Dash did Dogs with Us. I've taken to her, but I don't know if she takes me seriously, but she was doing this love story. She wanted to base it in this city where all of the buildings were made out of African stone. And I decided that I tried to do concept design. And it had such a tremendous effect on me that it would affect Black Metropolis. Then on top of that, around the same period of time, I was reading a lot of material about Yoruba religion, with the Orisha, Shango, Ogun, Yada, Oshun, and all those different things. And with a few years later becoming initiated in their religion, I am the worst girl of priest ever, by the way. So I don't know what I'm doing at all, and that's okay. What I did was I fused those elements with the Ralph McQuarrie-esque style, with the Black aesthetic style, with the comics, and that is what Black Metropolis is. Now, if you will notice, there's no identifiable story in that, then you would be correct. You know, the story was I intended to adapt the tale of the Orisha to the that style. And it's been an interesting run. But now, Black Metropolis and the iteration that I'm working on now, that I get to finish sometime next year, is my memoir. It's about my life and what I was doing at the time I was creating the pieces of art. So take the art of stuff. Black Metropolis, you know, and art from comics.
Well, you can feel that Orisha influence in your work and you know, you can see like the double-bladed axe has the Shango influence in it. And is this, and you know, forgive me if this feels like a leading question, but is that influence intentional? Like, are you trying to really, I mean, and this is, I think as Black people, we do things one of two ways. We try to either make a transition easy and not make people afraid, or we hit you as hard as we possibly can and be like, you have to deal with it. You know what I mean? And it feels like in your work, you're going, you have to deal with it. You have to deal with this and you have to deal with me. Right? And I'm wondering if that's an intentional thing. Are you doing that on purpose?
I would say that it is both. It's both of those things, all of those things combined. I want the right to do, like I was just, you know, Maddie's Rocket and Infinitum, my newest graphic novel, and I'm gonna ask you a question that really relates to it. I've been working very hard with my manager boss, so that we are pitching Maddie's Rocket and Infinitum to mainstream publishers, because now is the time where that can be done. And I have stories and concepts that we put together for these pitches that you know, you in stone, right?
Yes.
That's musical. That is also dance.
Yes.
So you're mixing different genres, different mediums, if you will. I don't know if genre might be the wrong word. But you're mixing those two. I'm sorry?
I said genre is perfect, yeah.
Okay, good. So you're mixing those things together, and you know, and also having been around dancers my entire life, don't understand that dancing is art, but it's also athletic. You're like a professional athlete. You're getting beat up, basically, every time you
100%,
dance.
yes.
But as a dancer, you still reserve and want the right to tell a story in any medium, whether it be domestic drama, science fiction, Afrofuturism, all those different things. And, you know, you want the right to do whatever kind of comic you want to do, right, Cameron? Same thing, I want that right too. So what I done, I wanted to do something, this is gonna sound really interesting. Edgar Rice Burroughs created Tarzan.
Yes.
And he was not the most progressive people. He was very regressive in his outlook on life about people of color.
Agreed.
And, but, I'm sorry, Tarzan is a and what I wanted to do was to do a story that, with a main character that looked like Amin. Take no prisoners, no, built like Conan, but with a battle axe, just like Shango.
Yeah.
And I wanted to tell and fuse those different elements together. Now, that's one of the reasons why I really appreciate you guys interviewing me, you and Lonnie, because you guys are scholars. So you're asking me that question because you're detecting and seeing directly a connection between the medium of comics and art, but you're also seeing you're directly seeing the influence. So it's not just blind, you're seeing exactly what I'm intending.
Yes.
But there's so much work to do, man. We'll be old men before we get to the end.
Yeah.
There's so much material to cover. And I'm one guy, so moving forward, probably after the next few weeks, I have to look into start getting an assistant just to help me finish all this work. I have about 30 books underway.
Wow. Wow, that's quite a library you're creating. And that's a lot of work. But I think what's strongest about it is I feel like you're of Hi John Conqueror on your website, I was like, oh, that looks like John Carter, Warlord from Mars. But it looks like Shango.
But check it out. Check it out. Hi John Conqueror is a myth of a black man who can move from one planet to the next, like a trickster.
Right.
Take that and fuse it with all those different things. I'm from down south, so I wanted to the kind of war between the Union and the Confederacy, and I wanted to pull those things together and actually have a Union, a black Union. He's a man.
Yeah.
That's what.
These images out there into the world, and they aren't as distributed as as much as they, I think, deserve to be. What do you think is the reason? I mean, of course, it's kind of rhetorical, but I really would like to hear, like, why you think that Maddie's Rocket and High John Conqueror and all of your books, it, it feels like turning the wheel is just becoming very laborious. And even right now, when we have this ability to digitally distribute our work, it feels like there's a lot of noise in the back. And trying to get our ideas out, it still becomes pretty difficult. What do you think that is?
I would think your mindset, or what you just said, absolutely applies to everything 40 years prior to 40 years. It's absolutely correct. It's running the wheel, losing hair, your family's falling apart because you're together, and no one wants, people don't want to try to do that. And for myself, what can I say? Man, right now, think about it. Orange is the new black. Their final season is next year.
Yeah.
In 7 years, man. 90% of the cast is female. Lonnie Ivy Brooks created a podcast called the Afrofuturist. I hear a chorus of it over my life, right? But now you guys are able to connect me. This is content. This content is just as important as a Netflix document, as an HBO document. It's just as relevant because it is now digital and it exists in perpetuity. So to answer your question more exactly, that's water under the bridge, man. Water under the bridge, we here now. Only thing I do is do better with my health. I've been in that walking every day. You gotta stay in shape, and we gotta be very good with my health, right? So we gotta do that because there's lots of work to be done, lots of pictures and drawings to do, and lots of stories to tell. And I would also say that, we're doing things where I'm moving my projects into the mainstream graphic novel space, but that doesn't even speak to the movie stuff, the TV stuff, which is much more dynamic, in our experience. I can't talk about any of it, but oh my God, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit, and that's why I think it's, my work is in a gallery, man. You know what I mean? Where, Carrie Mae Weems, thank you, sir. Did you like it, by the way? Thank you. I'm gonna give you one of these copies. And then we'll have to show that. Can you hang on? Good. By the way, I do drawing. But anyway, to answer your question, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. You remember that? Did you see American Gods last year?
Yes.
That thing with Orlando John. You know what I'm saying? We are now because people need ideas. Random acts of flying.
Yeah.
It's out. Karen Stamp. Insecure is out. You know what I mean? These things aren't even, Insecure's been around, 4 years? So these people need that content. They need us to do our stuff because they only have so many ideas. So it's up to us to do it.
What do you mean when you say you are encapsulated in light?
Somebody's really been reading my material. Thank you, Mr. Pat. Joy? Does that make sense? I've been around for a second here, and I guess I would say being encapsulated means that you are surrounded. And when I say encapsulated by light, what I mean is that whatever situation you're in, everything is all manageable, doable. And in order to finish in must attack things that are manageable and doable. And when you're doing that, you're encapsulated in that.
And how does that move your work?
Dog, man, you throwing them too many days ago, I gotta give it to you. Whoa, let's see. That that is what I say, being encapsulated in life means, okay, it's time to go to work, it's time to go to work.
We'll start that work. What do you see first? Do you see a world first? Do you see a character first? Do you see a storyline first? Do you find inspiration from the everyday world and you go, oh, wait a minute, I can make that a thing? What do you look at? What do you see?
I'm going to answer that question, but I'm also going to answer his question because he asked something similar to that.
Oh, great.
So when I'm creating, sometimes the visuals come first, right? Sometimes the words come first. Sometimes they alternate back and forth. Sometimes the stories are immediate. They happen real quick, right? Sometimes stories happen over decades. I know that's not because if you're young, you got time. But what I'm saying is that sometimes stories come slowly. It's like I have this one concept called Ricks, all right? And for years, it's just been this guy flashed away, and he was detected in a kind of futuristic world. So to this day, I was working on it this morning and I put it together. And it finally hit me 2 hours ago before I left to come to this.
Maybe try exiting and then re-entering. Or there it goes.
Who used to play for the Negro Leagues, used to play for the Memphis Red Sox, right? And I wanted to tell a story that featured a character similar to him, and then the story happened pretty quick.
Right.
So that's what it is. Sometimes the stories come slow, sometimes they come fast, but they come in the time it's supposed to. Does that make sense?
But you back to when you're stuck. Like if you're on an idea, let's say for grades, and you're just stuck. Like what is it? What do you use for information? Like, what do you look at? What do you find? What do you read? What do you touch? Like, what gives you that? You know, when you're in that hard area, when you're in the chair and you're just like, I don't know what's next. How do you get over that hump?
Okay, this is a very good question, and this will also be asked something similar to that. So first thing you do is you recognize that I have found that it is important to do more than one project.
Mm.
That's the thing. Don't just do one project, you do more than one. You keep control, you don't do any, but what you do is you have at least two projects going, at least two. So when you're working on a story and you reach a wall, you move to the other one. And you work on that one. And then when you feel like, okay, I've done enough, then you go back to your original project. Or you take a walk, or you exercise. Or in certain cases, like I've done before, you eat a little bit too much, right? You know what I mean? So, but you gotta watch that. So what it is, when you create the story, right? Everything in an appointed time, not a moment sooner. However, you can will a story into existence. You can will a story. There have been times when I've created stories and I was like, I'm gonna do this gonna happen, and this is what it is. So for example, the story I'm doing now, Infinitum, about a man cursed by a vengeful lover with the gift of immortality, right? That story came about, I Black Superman, right? But it was just an idea. But when the New York Times contacted me in 2016 to do a story on Afrofuturism, that was one of the ideas that I pitched. It was an older idea that I come up with in the early 2000s, but I started working on it, and it was 30 pages, 30 images long, and they couldn't go with it because Black Man as a Mortal God wasn't really in the wheelhouse of New York Times. But here we are now, 2 years later, and the story is about 250 pages long. All the artwork is painted, Black Macquarie, and it's gonna blow your head off, sir.
Wow. I can't wait to read
I
that.
know that's hard, I'm sorry, I said, you gotta put it out there, you gotta lay the hammer down, man.
Man, you gotta set that bar. Have you collaborated with other storytellers, artists, Afrofuturists, or do you do most of your work yourself?
Oh my God. He said, hey man, stop that. Like he said, they call it slang when you put it back in the country. That's what he's doing today. Anyway, I am not the greatest collaborator in the world over the last 2 years.
Hmm.
And as a result of that, I'll put it to you this way. I've spent my entire life trying to do my work, but really finishing other people's work.
Yeah.
This is the nature of being an artist for many artists. Man, I'm done.
Yeah.
I wish I could say it in a less dramatic way, but I'm done, man. I gotta get to my stuff, man. I consider my your artists out there. I'm not saying I'm better, but I feel like I'm as good. If I don't get to doing those stories, right? I don't finish. Right? When you start your story, you have to finish. Very important. It took me a long time to understand that. That's what it's about. So collaborations will come again, but only after I've had my, it's like you ever seen the lion eat, and the other ones are waiting for that lion to finish eating? I'm the lion eating. I gotta finish. I haven't finished eating yet. So give me a few years. Take back a few years.
And also, you also talk about, visualizing, working your butt off, and then you have the ask, right? What would you ask for now at this stage in your career and in your life?
This guy, man, what are you doing, man? You can't do that. Put me in a spot like that.
Man,
You gotta go to a private venue, man.
This is a joke, brother. This is a joke. We gotta get to the real. We gotta get
Can I
inside.
answer the question? But while I'm talking, I might meander a little bit as I'm trying to answer the question, but I try
Any
to
way
do
you wanna do it. Any way you wanna do it.
my ask would be, oh, God, my head. Dude, Cameron, I want my work. I want my work seen by people who live in Thailand, in Clark, in New York City, in Portland, Oregon, in Russia. I want people who are wealthy, people who are not wealthy, black, white. I want the entire world to see my work. And the ask is whatever venue, organization, individual, group of individuals that I can partner with who see the value in my work, and they can let me do my thing, if that makes sense. Meaning that, I've said this before to my students, it's like a nuclear power plant. You would not want me to put me in charge of a nuclear power plant. We would die of radiation poisoning, that would be all out, it wouldn't be good. Don't let me do that. I can draw and illustrate and tell good stories. That's the thing I'm good at. And it's not magic, by the way, Cameron. It's not like, oh, I was popped out of my mama's womb. No. I've been doing this since I was 4, a young kid. So I'm only as good because I've done it for years. And even when I wasn't doing comics, I was still in the animation, the game design. I taught for years. And all that stuff now informs my comic. And I want to prove that I am a master, not to me, but to the world. And I want to get my stuff out. So my ask is, like, yes, I want, like, for example, I self-published. This was all published. The irony is, this was published by Print on Demand. This was published in my studio. And it kicked in my butt. Manufacturing books inside the house very difficult. But a mainstream book publisher is what I'm going to do now. Why? I need penetration. I need my work to go everywhere. And we're in a period now where Black Panther made $1.4 billion. So somebody knows a person who does quality, fully rendered, well-told stories with characters of color, there's a market for it. And it is the time is now for me to get my work out. And does that answer your question? I hope it does. Okay.
Absolutely. And I think that's gonna happen. Your work is phenomenal. And it's, you see your influence, you see the strength of your storytelling, and it's highly impactful. Very, really highly impactful. We got one last question, and this is kind of one of our standard, the Afrofuturist podcast's questions, right? And I would love to hear your take on it. If you had a billboard, anywhere in the world, and you could put whatever you want on that billboard, be it words, be it pictures, be it an idea, where would that billboard be, and what would you want on it?
I would want my artwork put up in the middle of Times Square. But I would want to use my own character, but I would want it to be influenced by Cameron's drawing here. See that? What does that say? That's exactly what it said. That's what I want to do. I'm a visual Afrofuturist, and that means you have to see things happen. It's like you're a dancer. You want people to know that you got the moves, right? You can do that. If you're a football player, you want to know that you can run over somebody. You're a boxer, you can knock somebody out. If you're a comic book artist, that you can tell great stories that people will enjoy. But I want my stories to be as visible as possible.
Right on. Tim, it's been fantastic speaking with you. You're just an enormous inspiration and a fantastic fountain of not only knowledge, but what you can do when you put your mind to things. And it's been really inspiring. Can you please tell everyone where they can see your work, where they can find you, where they can interact with you and contact you?
All right, you can see my content on www.dieselfunk.com. If you're gonna buy some stuff, we gotta work that out, but it would be dieselfunkstore.com. On Twitter, it would be dieselfunkstu. On Facebook, you can see me constantly saying and talking crazy stuff. Well, not crazy stuff, but I talk on Facebook. Under Tim Fielder, I can go to the Diesel Funk Facebook page. And you can also watch my TED Talk, which apparently people find entertaining. I was nervous, but most people say you look nervous, but I was nervous. And you can come to the Hammond's House in Atlanta, Georgia, to look at my Black Metropolis show, which will be going till November 25th. And very soon, I can't reveal anything, but we will have some big news, I think.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It is. Now, this is gonna sound kind of crazy here, but let me pull this out here. It is called Black Metropolis, 30 years. I'm sorry, I have to get my own title here because it's so long. But, but it is Black Metropolis, and it is at the world famous Hammond's House Museum. I'm trying to pull out my pamphlet here. There it is. It is Black Metropolis, 30 years of Afrofuturism, comics, music, animation, decaffeinated chicken, heroes, villains, and Negroes. Curated by Boston, my manager, and Leatrice LD brought me here to the Hammond's House Museum, and we'll be going to November 25th. Thanks.
Right on. So if anybody is in the area of the Hammond Museum, please check out Tim Fielder and Black Metropolis. Please go to Diesel Funk and look at and experience his stuff, as well as check out the TED Talk. It's really great and inspiring. There's some great images, and he's wearing a cool bow tie.
Thank
Tim,
you.
I'm in. Tim, it's been a real pleasure, man. Thank you very, very much for joining us. And thank you, Cameron, for being here. You're the future. You're the future.
Can we get some
Depending
questions?
on you. We're depending on you, Cameron.
Can we get some
All
questions?
right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, well.
Okay, are we done now, or is that it?
Oh.
We are done.
Oh, wait.
Okay. All right, thank you, man.
Do they hear me?
Appreciate it, dude. I will. Bring me on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. And I just followed you on my
Yeah.
All right, man. You guys
All
have a
right,
great
thank you.
day.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
That we had that great. Okay. Anyway, well, we did what we did. Thank you for, actually, you know what we could do right now is, if you could, have some questions, on Twitter, or how many people have social media like Instagram or anything like that going on right now? And let's see, let's get some questions up and kind of maybe just write them down, what you might have, so we can do this. I'd like to get some questions down. First of all, sorry about the Zoom, it wasn't perfect, and this is the first time that we've ever done this with the podcast, so we'll see how better we can do it. But anyone have any questions about Black Metropolis in general? So, let's see. Let's go to. Well, what did you think? So, you know, first of all, what was on your mind? What came up? So what is Black Metropolis? It is this compilation of stories and artwork that tells about Tim Fielding's life and about his aspirations. And it's kind of like a temporary utopia in a sense of the idea that the past, present, and future of Black people, that they can do anything that they imagine. And that's sort of what it's about. And so, so seeing him bring this to life is really inspiring. In fact, so in the Afrofuturism class that we're doing now, students are creating Afrofuturist signals of the future. And what we're gonna do in class is we're gonna kind of create a map of, we're gonna call it like Africana Future City as a temporary name. And imagine an illustration of a boulevard, you know, an urban street. And we'll put signals along that street that the students are coming up with, like trends that are happening in fashion and art and music and literature. And so as you're going along the street, you'll see these signals that pop up as trends for Afrofuturism. And so that's the idea that I have. Now, the Black Metropolis really fits in well with that because it's you know, what Tim is doing. So I'd love to have, with Tim's permission, some images that he could contribute or let us use as part of that. Afrofuturism, Afrofuturist City. So, or I call it Africana Future City. And so, and the term Africana has significance because it also incorporates not just the Black diaspora, but Africa too. And that's why Black studies has transformed to Africana studies in many universities now too, or is transforming, it's in transition. Just because the Black diaspora tends to be dominated by an American narrative, you know, and so we don't want to forget Africa and where we came from too, so to include that as well. So I think Black Metropolis is this like really inspiring project, and you see how alive Tim is. I mean, he's on fire there. He's like, I'm getting old. I got to get this out, you know, and I got to do my work. And so I really admire that. And so you are the only folks that really know this. He's creating this epic Afrofuturism novel, graphic novel, that I think is what he was alluding to. That's going to be out next year. So, so that's, you know, pretty interesting. But what are your general impressions? And we'll just get them down. I'm going to remember them, write them down. What do you think? What are you thinking of? Any ideas? Yeah.
Well, I like how he had that young man, I think his name was Cameron, with him. I think that was really good. You could see the whole time, like when he was answering the questions, he was trying to coach him through them and teach him, like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm trying to do. So kind of a mentorship feel for like the younger generation to come up with Afrofuturism. I kind of like that like part of the interview a lot too. So.
Yeah, that was. I love how he was conversing with him, right?
And then his artwork that he did was pretty good. That he showed at the end. Or said, I got this, that he did, that was pretty good, so.
Yeah, that was by Cameron.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I really admired that too. And you saw him that was in his backyard studio in his own. Anything else come to mind too? Any impressions, ideas, inspirations, thoughts? Yeah.
I thought it really stuck with me that he continued to talk about how important it was for us to put out our content and to have, and he even spoke about how by you inviting, you and Ahmed inviting him to the podcast was just as important as him being on, you know, some other mainstream stage, because once it's out in the digital sphere, it's always there. So it's just adding to the Afrofuturist content that, you know, future generations will be able to see, and hopefully inspires them to continue to keep going.
Yeah, right. I mean, because these content providers are running out of ideas. You know, they're kind of bored. voices that haven't been heard. So yeah, that's a great point, and the fact that it is in the digital domain means that it's there, it's accessible. Thanks for Ben and Jasmine for supporting us today too, and all me being here. Ben's got this on the live stream, so we're gonna edit that footage too, and cut out all the parts where things got stuck. So that was frustrating, but it's our first time doing this. But I would say the idea is that being a communication professional, you're gonna work with different types of people, the techies, the artists, and your mission is to kind of translate their ideas. Part of what the podcast's mission is to translate these people's ideas to a wider stage, to let people know what's out there. But you're translating people's visions and writing them up and expressing them to the rest of the world. So that's part of this too. But then it's also like helping to generate audiences too. How can people feel this work, see this work, and so on. Well, we have the food tickets, right? And so did everyone get a food ticket yet?
We haven't passed them out yet.
So let's pass them out. But first, let's get a selfie of us, okay? We'll do that. If you can just scrunch in for a minute. And are you taking a picture? Yeah. Maybe y'all come up here.
Put the Afrofuturist podcast on the screen.
Yeah, let's do that.